guys, Mixed Media Girl here. So we're gonna do another little side table. I got this from IKEA for about 10 bucks. And just go over the colors we're using. I'm using Artminds DIY. This is Galactic. I'm trying out a new gold, which is the Craftsmart Premium Ultra Bright. This one is Radiant Gold. And then I'm using Color Shift Aqua Flash. Other than that, I'm using my Artist Loft Flow acrylics, white, blue, and black. This table is about 2 feet by 2 feet. So I need around 36 ounces of paint, which is about 4 of these cups. Now I have found that as opposed to doing a big bucket full of color, it's better to do it a little more in gradients. So we're gonna just fill up 1 cup at a time and dump it that way. And yeah, so here we go. Just layering these colors. Everything is mixed with Floetrol and water. As usual, check out the description for the ratios and everything. I'm just kind of going to use some little layers of gold in there. Just want it as like an accent color. And I don't want this to be a super dark table. I am going to throw just like a little bit of black in there because I always love to have the contrast. All right, we're going to start with this. I'm starting right in the middle. The cool thing about this is it is a square table. So the tree ring should work quite nicely on here. All right, now I'm going to let that just move on its own while I fill up the next cup. And because I'm just going to keep doing this another 3 times, I'm going to go ahead and speed this part up. I'm going to actually tilt this a bit before I add the next cup. All right, so it looks like 3 cups have actually covered it pretty well. Just for my own personal preferences, I'm gonna tilt this a little bit more this way. I want this side to run off. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that real quick. right, cool. Good. So that wraps it up for the actual painting part. I'll make sure all the edges get covered and everything, but otherwise we're gonna just come back in when it's fully dry, and we'll go ahead and we'll resin it. All right, guys, so we're back. This is all dry. I'm just mixing up my epoxy now, and I'm using Stone Coat Countertops countertop epoxy. So it's got heat resistance, scratch resistance. It's very durable. Really doesn't yellow. I mean, all epoxies yellow over time, of course, but this is like just a really great product. This isn't a video on how to mix epoxy. So if you're unaware of how to mix epoxy, I will go ahead and post the link down in the description for how to mix epoxy. But it comes in a part A and part B. Part A is the resin, part B is the hardener. And for this specific epoxy, you mix equal parts of both. Some epoxies are different. And then you just make sure that you stir it all very well together. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm almost done stirring. I already partially stirred it before starting the video. So we'll finish that, and then we'll go ahead and get started. All right, so I'm just gonna pour right in the middle of the project here, and need about 3 ounces of epoxy per square foot. This is 4 square feet, so that makes about 9 ounces all mixed up. And I'm gonna just spread it around with my hands here. You can use, in the last video I used a metal trowel, which seemed to have given some people a heart attack because they were worried I would scratch up the acrylic, which makes sense. I get it. So I don't have a silicone trowel. I did have one, but I don't know where I put it. Anyway, so I'm just going to use my hands, which is okay. In your epoxy calculations, you want to factor in the sides, of course. And these little tables have pretty wide sides. So you would want to use a few extra ounces for that, probably even an additional 3 ounces total. I mixed up some extra epoxy today though, because I'm doing several projects, not just this one. So I actually have quite a bit here. I'm gonna add a little bit more, just make sure I get full coverage on the sides. And there's nothing worse than epoxying something and missing a little spot. So what I like to do is I like to go in kind of a circular pattern. And I make sure I get all my edges. And then I will go specifically down the edges to make sure that I fully got it. And that's how I make sure I get full coverage. These gloves are a little big for me. Okay, great. So we have full coverage here. And now we're just going to go ahead and torch it. And then we'll let it dry, put it back together, and I'll show you guys the final product. So I'm going to use this big torch. And that's literally it. And for anyone who's worried, epoxy is self-leveling. So if there's any spots that look like they're not level, they'll level out. They will level out. All right, so we'll be back with the finished project. All right, guys, so here's the table all put together with its legs and everything. I'm just in my garage, so not a lot of room, but I think it looks very cool with the resin and the fact that it was just a little $10 side table. Awesome. So hope you guys enjoyed this. Also, I'll give you a little sneak peek. A couple others I just did. These are the same tables. Look how pretty that one is. That one I just resined, and this one I just painted. Obviously, I like blues. Alright, anyways, thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you next time.